Did it work? Did we have a countdown? All right there. It's a little bit too much tit. I don't want to put you off your breakfast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is going to be somewhat of a chill stream, more of a hangout. I have got some clips, I've got some memes, and I need to thank Rags for the majority of those, as ever. Argon Tom Tom Rags. That's Khmer for Ragnar. Ragnar. You know, if someone says to you, do an impression of German, even if you can't speak a single word of German, you can go, "This weiß Gunza, this Klessnens Versenta." You know, you can sort of, you can brag it, Most languages, like I can speak a little bit of Cantonese and a little bit of Mandarin, but not enough to sort of go, oh, that went, that was Chai-Erman. But I've been in Cambodia nearly 4 years, and I can't tell you what it sounds like. Cannot tell you what the language sounds like. It's a very strange language, like Hungarian. Hungarian's a weird one. Where does Hungarian come from? Actual question. It's another one of those weird languages that it doesn't sort of have a Latin or Greek sort of origin, and well, obviously Cambodia doesn't. But yeah, it's a standalone language, Cambodian, Khmer. And don't forget, Cambodia was, you get these the out of Africa thing. Oh, we all come out of Africa. Humans, I haven't seen you in a long time, son. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Nice that you've joined the firm. The firm is joined. Nice one, humans. Good Lord, I need some water. I've already done a bottle today. Gin. I've already done a whole bottle of water. That's why this one's full. When the old out of Africa thing, we all come out of Africa, which has been fairly readily debunked, and other people have supported it. I don't know the truth. That's not my area. Go and seek the experts, because they're always honest. But check out when Angkor Wat was the Pearl of Asia, which is what it was known as. And it was the biggest. Sorry, I just got a work message. And it was the biggest civilization in Asia. When there was a million, well, probably not exactly a million. It's amazing. It's amazing when they always round it like that. There was 1 million people living in Angkor Wat. You sure? Maybe it was 1,020,000. Anyway, when there was approximately 1 million people living in Angkor Wat, London had 30,000 people. It's a weird way of looking at things. Angkor was quite the civilization. If you haven't seen the video of me and History Bro, it's on his channel, easy to find. Go to History Bro and then just search Dangerfield. And it's a good hour and a half, 2 hours, talking about the history of Angkor Wat and Cambodia. Interesting chat. But yeah, I can't improvise it. I can't sort of make up what it sounds like. It's a fucking peculiar language. Trying to get my passport sorted, man. That's another problem. Anyway, I want to tell you that I've run out of words. I've run out of things to say. We finally got there. This is the end. Usually I set up a stream and I'm like, right, talk. And I'm sort of like, nah. It's 33 degrees here today. I've got the fan on. It's lovely outside though. 33 is just right for me. It's like hot enough to know that you're equatorial, which is essentially thank you, humans. Hoit to that. I'll see you on the private streams, mate. It essentially lets me know I'm sort of on holiday because it's so hot. But the problem is, if you do anything that involves exertion, and man, you sweat to shit. You absolutely just, and it's always afterwards. So the annoying thing is, I'll get on my scooter, I'll zoom up the market, a couple of minutes. There's loads of little parking bays where they look after your bikes, which is quite nice. You know, you just give your bike to them, take the keys out. They give you a little ticket, and they're all over Phnom Penh. Really cool system, actually. I mean, in London, those NPC, or is it NCP car parks? I mean, some lovely buildings. That one on Brewer Street's quite the architecture. But it's like 30 quid an hour. Wow, look at the money they're making. Understandable, though, because that space in central London, you could turn into a restaurant and be certainly making more than that. But out here, you can park for as long as you want. And when you go back and get your ticket, it's about 30 English pence. So you're like, sweet. But so you drive in, park your scooter, go a little walk around the market, go to the indoor market. I'm too tall for the indoor market. Right? I'm only 6'2", maybe 6'2.5" with my boots on. And I'm having to duck down. I have to duck down. And some of the corridors are that thin. So you have to walk sideways. And some of the markets in Phnom Penh, I know I've said this before, but for those of you who might have missed it, some of the markets are the size of football stadiums. They are massive. And when they're only like that and that low, it's I've got lost in them now, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. And it will take you a couple of hours to get out. And it's quite frightening. It's quite frightening. Once you've got lost in there once, you think, right, next time I go in there, so I go and see my tailor. My tailor is in the market down at in the Russian market area. I don't know why it's called the Russian market. Maybe loads of Russians lived there once. I'm guessing that was it. But you go in there and I just think, right, forward 50 meters, left. And I remember where I've gone, but you've only got to take one wrong un, and then your plan is fucked. And once you're stuck in there on your own, not being able to speak Khmer, certainly not enough to say, excuse me, can you help me get out of here? You know, where you can stop someone and go, outside. And they're just like, and you go, me? Knyom, that means I. Knyom, go home. I mean, what does that mean to them? E.T., go home. So you can't ask anyone, so you just walk about. Now, here's the kicker. So you do all the walking about and you're going upstairs because there's different levels, and then suddenly you realise you're on another level, but you haven't been upstairs. And then you suddenly realise that there's been a very slow incline that's gone on for about 40, 50 metres that has taken you to another level, which is a strange... And the reason for this, and this is the charm of it, this is the charm of not corporations. A couple of people set up some businesses on a crossroad. Then a couple more people did. Then a couple more people did. Then a couple more people did. And then... And now you've got ODYSEE market, Russian market, Central market, Kandal market, I think. And I can't remember what that one's called. They're all within about 3-4 minutes from me. 5 of these monster markets. If ever you come to Cambodia, hit me up and I'll take you to the markets. Because also they're incredible. You know, the things you can get done there. I've got to get my suit jacket. I've got to get new linings put in the arms because of the climate out here. If you've got a bit of dampness on your arms, a little bit of perspiration, when you put your suit on, it's just too much friction. Oops. Which would be all right if I hadn't had 20 gins. Walked home with the lining hanging out the arms, dragging them along the ground. But the problem is, you can do all that act. Beautiful sounding bird. What's that? I'll tell you what, you see some lovely birds here. I think I will end up being a bird watcher. I'll get a book of Cambodian birds and a little pair of binoculars because there's loads of places around here to see them. It's very nice to be able to just sit down and have some little blue and yellow bird that you don't know what it is, just sit there and go You're like, oh, hello, mate. What are you called? You're not a pigeon, are you? But you do all that walking about, even if you don't get lost in the market, maybe you're just walking around, you know, looking at things. As soon as you sit down in a cafe and say to the lady, hello, love, can you do us some of that, do me some of those meatballs look good, and I'll have a glass of water, please. She's like, Abanya, and then it goes, you just soaking wet, and it's so embarrassing because then you're pulling tissues out the tissue dispenser, making a centimeter thick swab. And then, of course, you don't want that on the table, making you look like a sweaty bastard. So you put it in your bag, and just as you're putting it in your, what apparently yesterday is a gay handbag, you're putting it in that, and then you look up and a tuk-tuk driver's looking at you as if to think, oh, why is that man collecting his own sweat? And your back is just dripping. I mean it. Just you can feel water just dripping down it. And you know that when you stand up, there's going to... So pros and cons, but I'll take the heat over the cold any day. Question to the chat, right? Survival situation. You've gone out to the desert or you've gone into the mountains. It's all fucked up. You've broken your leg. You've lost radio contact. Heat or cold? Too much heat or too much cold? What are you going to go for if you had a choice? Would you rather live in really hot climate or really cold climate? This is the question I'm asking you. Now, hang on though, Sumpster. Hang on. It isn't. The humidity here is around 50%, which is ridiculous. It's not close. You know, people say close. It's only because I march around like a junkie because I've, you know, got that in my stride. I'm sort of, everyone else knows how to do it. They like just sort of gently bumble along, whereas I'm like, and you can't do that. So it's not actually like, my brother lives in Japan and he said out there it's humid. My mother went to Argentina and she said just sitting there you sweat. But out here, no, you know, it's just gone up to 33 now. I've only got a slow fan on. Look, you can see how slow it's going. It's not like, I did actually wash and condition my hair. No shampoo. And if that was really going, you know, it's thin enough to be, I'd look like I had my hand on a, what's that thing called? What's that called? Is Lumi in? What's it called? You put your hand on it and it puts electricity, static, and all your hair stands on end. I just had it then. There's a prog rock band called it. Someone will know. But it isn't actually humid here, which is quite nice. It's just I tend to go for it. Well, according to survival experts, the cold is the worst because you can't actually dress for it. You can have 4 pairs of socks on, proper big, thorough, you know, proper winter walking boots, and you'll still lose your toes to the cold. According to most of the survival programs I've seen, they'll take heat over cold, which is why deserts are a nightmare, because deserts are hot during the day and cold during the night. Van de Graaff generator, thank you, people. Let's say and search, shall we? Anyone have them at school? Anyone have them at school? We had them at school. Fucking great. Hello, Mark. Mark, do you remember the Van de Graaff generator? Have you got full food and water to hand, or are you waiting to die? Yeah, it's going to get a bit complex now. Mark, I sung your praises in this stream yesterday, and everyone emmed you up in the chat. I'm not going to say it to your face, so you'll have to watch it back. You know anyway. You know what I think about you. Quadric says, too cold. I'd dig a cave and wear animal hides and hunt. The old fantasy. I'd do it. I'd survive. I would become one with nature. Carl says you can survive 3 hours in the cold, worse if windy. Find shade, drink your own piss in the heat. Apparently drinking your own piss is a terrible idea. It's a really bad idea. I am a little bit addicted to those survival programs. Aramas would pick cold over heat. Yes, Mark remembers. So we'll see if we can find one. So if you didn't have the luxury of a Van de Graaff generator, it's basically, I think, an aluminium ball, and it's got like it's like a fan belt or something in it. And it just goes, and you put your hand on it and you stand in a bucket of rubber or something that doesn't conduct electricity. And then all your hair just sort of goes up. And of course, the girls with really long hair, their hair went massive, which is always sexy. Right, now it's like that, just hairspray it. I'd love to have sex with a girl with hair that was 5 foot round. You know, they nearly got there in the 80s. I can remember going to nightclubs. I went to nightclubs when I was too young to go to them as well. And there were girls with hair that was about that big. I loved it. So sexy. I don't know why. Oh, I do actually. It's because I'm sexually psychotic. Oh, look at that. Grego's got his own Van de Graaff generator, a hand cranked one. So you just sit there going, ooh. Your toddler keeps taking the belt off, probably because he's had enough of you giving him electric shocks. But with the Van de Graaff generator, not only does it make your hair go up, once you've charged yourself up enough, you can then hold on to a fluorescent tube and light it. And, you know, science at school is so boring. At our school it was anyway. But that is excellent because that's almost a lightsaber. I'm sure we can find one. Van de Graaff generator. I'm going to get the band tonight. That's Led Zeppelin. I don't want a long video. I just want to see it happen. And also, once you've charged yourself up on the Van de Graaff generator, you can go like that to your friend, and when you get about an inch away, you get like the blue spark between your hand and their head. You meant to do it to each other's fingers, but when the teacher's not looking, you just go. And that's like being a real wizard, you know, to have electricity coming out your hand. Let's see if we can find some actual. Oh, how have they actually managed to make the Van de Graaff generator boring?
Okay, so now I will try to get.
Nah, too long. Go and have a look for yourself. Van de Graaff generator, you'll enjoy it. Aramas would pick the hot over the cold any day. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find out, because Google never lies. What's the worst survival conditions? Heat or cold? No, I don't know. Right, here we go. We've got one from Cora, the experts. Let's get a bit of colour in my cheeks. People, I can't go too long this morning. I will be doing a longer stream later, but I've got so much work to do today. I just thought it'd be nice to do an early one because I haven't for a while. Rock music's brilliant, isn't it? It's finished though. Rock music's finished. It's over. What a terrible shame, but what an immense back catalogue there is. There you go. Now it looks like it's 33 degrees here. So yesterday I cooked a steak from frozen, and I looked into it before, and I got a bit obsessed with it. You know, I'm trying to fill my mind with anything but my actual emotional situation for obvious reasons. And across the board, cooking steaks from frozen makes a better steak. Really, really look into it, because you get to char the outside nicely without overcooking the inside, so you can still have a pink inside but a charred exterior. Can't do that with a defrosted or an unfrozen, should I say. Unfrozen. What word am I looking for? Well, I want someone who's an actual... Here we go. So this is from a former US Army survival specialist, right? Angkor. Extreme cold is far more deadly than the heat. It kills 20 times more people annually than extreme heat. You can die in as little as 10 to 15 minutes in the cold without proper clothing, while heat normally kills you from dehydration that takes longer than 20 minutes. Also, it will be far harder to survive in a frigid environment. I've never been in one of them. Than a sweltering one, because life does not normally grow in extreme cold, so no food, and water is either frozen or ice cold. Drinking it will accelerate hypothermia. However, it is easier to prepare for a cold environment than it is to prepare for a hot environment. Short answer, cold is more dangerous. Well, I think some random soldier on the internet has proved my point. Short answer, cold is more dangerous. Go away. I don't want to hear that. I just heard that once already. Hello, Hooper. How are you, son? Hello, Skin Scar. Southeast Asia climate all day long. If wasn't in a relationship. Well, it's lovely out here. It's lovely. I get so many people writing to me, like at least 2 a week. How much does it cost to live in Southeast Asia? How much do I need a month in Thailand? How much do I need, you know? If you're willing to live in a really, really basic little room with a bed, shower, sink, and if you and you could eat for $5 a day if you're willing to eat local food, which there's nothing wrong with it, you know, that can be beef, fur, or or similar, and very healthy diet as well. You could probably live out here for about 600 quid a month. I mean, you're not going to be getting much entertainment, but that is definitely an option. Hello, Baz. Hello, Mr. MF. Spy bots on the firm. Hello, Matthew. Corona. What did you tell me earlier? Did we talk via email? Yeah, of course. There you go, Colt. That's it. Why you just, especially if you've been dehydrated, can you imagine it's almost like the whiskey of toxins, dehydrated piss, comes out the colour of fucking engine oil. Oh, you hadn't finished your sentence. If you weren't in a relationship, you'd be living here now. You know what, Skin Scar? When I got together with that Vietnamese salt, and she was a salt, she was a 9 out of 10. She was a 9.5 out of 10. You've all seen her boobs on this channel, picking locks. Beautiful woman, very successful. Crazy, absolutely crazy. But I was with her for 6 years. But I remember very early in that relationship, she said to me, like, I was fucking off to Thailand in the first year before we sort of, established that we were a serious relationship. And then at some point, like around, we'd been together about 12 months. She said, right, can you tell me when we're going on holiday this year? Because I've got 3 weeks. I can't have them all in a row, but I can have 2 weeks. No, I think it was 4 weeks, but 2 weeks together and the other weeks just as weeks. And I was thinking, hang on a minute. I've worked my ass off for the last 30 years. Well, for the last 20 years, sorry. So that I can work from anywhere in the world. so that I can travel and go away to places. And being with you is starting to look like I get 4 weeks holiday a year. And that was devastating. Absolutely devastating. And when I got together with my ex-missus, who texted me last night, I don't like it. You know, we're finished. I don't want this. We've been doing really well, you know, ever since that accidental phone call. It's opened up channel of communication. I mean, I'm always thinking about it. I'm absolutely heartbroken, but I don't want that. I don't want that. Yeah. But I said to her when we got together, I said, listen, I will, if we're going to be together, I need to holiday alone. You have to let me go away 3-4 weeks at a time on my Jack Jones. Now, luckily, stroke, not lucky, Coof kind of not made that happen. But yeah, I need to, I love going on holiday on my own. I absolutely love it. If you go on holiday with a partner, and this isn't me digging out partners, because, you know, I've just sacrificed loads not having one, you know, and it's very raw at the moment. But there's pros and cons. But when you go on holiday with a partner, rarely do you meet anyone. Rarely do you have adventures. When I travel on my own, I end up in some weird bird's house in somewhere that tourists don't go, and I meet their family, and, you know, you do weird shit, and you go into a bar, and who knows what's going to happen that night. You end up on stage at a ping pong show, wishing you weren't, begging the woman to get a few more terrapins out so you can get off the stage. But as partners, my holidays with my girlfriend, they were tame to say the least. Now, they were also beautiful because, you know, lovely to be walking along the beach at sunset down in Sihanoukville. And I was about to lie then. I was about to say there are lonely times when I travel alone. There aren't. There aren't. Oi, listen, I got a thing back from Equifax saying that they're looking into this BT shizzle. I got an email saying there has been progress with your complaint. I thought, wicked, they're gonna give me my 140 credit score points back that BT stole from me. But then I opened it and they were just like, yeah, we've made contact. I will not be letting that go. Hello, on the same page. Good to see you. Certainly does. Hello, Pags. Hello, Ludwig. Good to see you. Yeah, I like Les Stroud. Yeah, he says some very interesting things, doesn't he? He says survival is mainly very boring. And he says Les Stroud said, I've been watching a lot of Les Stroud recently. He says, when you watch one of my shows, it's a 40-minute show. He said, I've been on my own for 10 days to make that. 10 days. And he said, do you know what I'm doing? He said, am I running from bears? Am I climbing trees? Am I skinning snakes? He said, no. He said, I'm just sitting there. Just sitting there. I reckon that's the real, you know. Anyway, 92 people on the early doors. How amazing. Hello, Brad. Good to see you. Takes more energy to keep you warm than sit in the shade. Good call. Hello, Cole. Worst survival conditions. I'll let you read the rest of that. Hello, Liam. All right, Dennis. Dennis, I wasn't into slow dive. I didn't find it. Oh, what a tune Misty Mountain Hop is. What is that? It's some weird mode, isn't it? Walking in the park just the other day, baby. What do you think I saw? Is that Misty Mountain Hop? And I'm packing my bags for a Misty Mountain. Yeah. Oh, that was the one I was singing. So I would suggest it is on the same album, yes. Or was I singing Heartbreaker? Lord, I don't know. John likes the early ones. I catch him before I start drinking. Do you drink every day, John? Charlie, there you go. Too hot, too cold, both bad. Yeah, but Steve, you don't have to boil. I don't know, man. I've watched a lot of those survival things. When the people survive heat, they're usually all right. When they survive cold, they've lost toes, limbs, and all sorts. But let's hope that none of us ever get in those positions. The worst one, of course, is water. The amount of people that have been left paddy diving, scuba diving, they've just been left in the water. Where's the boat gone? Oh, it's getting dark. Oh, fuck that. No. Where's that knife, darling? Why? What do you need that for? Nothing. I'm not bobbing around in the middle of the ocean. You can poke that. Fucking hell. Hello, Mr. MF. Good to see you. Hello, Vincent. Yep, absolutely, Daffyd. I mean, but Will Self's book Shark is amazing. It tells that story. Oh, what was it? Hang on. It's worth having a look at. That's it. The USS Indianapolis, right? It was hit by a submarine. Lovely submarine, Lee. The USS Indianapolis was hit by a submarine, a Japanese submarine in World War II. And it was right at the end of the war. It was almost not necessarily, it wasn't necessary. Do you know what I mean? The war was kind of over. About 2,000 sailors jumped ship as the Indianapolis went down, right? Over 1,000 jumped ship. Guess what happened? In the Pacific, I think it was the Pacific. Well, it would have been, I imagine, if the Japanese done it. Let's have a look. Where was it? It sank in 12 minutes, right? This is what Will Self's last 3 books, Umbrella, Shark, and Phone. They look at the First World War, the Second World War, and now. And they're about technology and all of that. I'm just trying to find out where it was. Yeah, it would have been off the Philippines. All right, but check this out. It was the biggest shark attack in history. Can you imagine? No, I haven't been married. No, I was going to. It was the biggest feeding frenzy ever. Hang on a minute. I think I got... Hang on, what's happening with Quadrex? Where's Quadrex? I've been off the benzos and the zopiclones for nearly a month now after years of being prescribed. Incredible. Excellent work. And I'm going to give you a little bit of advice here. It's going to take you about 6-7 months for your brain chemistry to settle back down to what it used to be. So it's kind of difficult for you to fully experience the positive feelings in life. Your dopamine, your serotonin, the other one I always forget. That your biochemistry is going to take a while to sort of rebalance itself. So if you have some really bad days, your life isn't going to be like that forever. You're not going to have these mad swings. You're not going to have these really dark plummets. It takes a while for your biochemistry to rebalance. So incredible work, and hold on, just hold on. That's excellent. Hello, Rollo. So yeah, this the USS Indianapolis unnecessarily got hit by a Japanese submarine. Took 12 minutes to go down. About 1,100 people jumped off it. Now, imagine jumping into that sea. First, there's no lifeboats or any of that lark. That ship's just gone. So you're just there. You might have a little floater on or grab something like a lump of wood. And then imagine hearing the screams. Imagine seeing the flashes, those fins. Imagine watching the water turn red. And of course, the more blood in the water, the more sharks. And it has gone down in history as the biggest human shark attack ever. And I think about 150 people actually survived it. I mean, how do you cope with life after that? We all know the story. I think I missed a super chat. I haven't got entropy set up, so we didn't get a VAR. There you go. Thank you, Vincent. This is for last night's stream. I was going to give it then, but I was doing things. It was a corker last night, wasn't it? Nice one, Vincent. Machano Caprusha 22. I'll set the grift up in a minute. Thank you, Vincent. But it's better when you get a VAR, isn't it? They can go if anyone wants to hit them hard. Not sure. You know, in these parts. So every partnership you've had has been a lie to your partner. No. A lot of them have, but not all of them. It's just it's a compromise. It's a sacrifice. It's pros and cons. In life, you can't have everything. There's pros to being single. There's cons to being single. There's pros to being in a relationship. And there's cons. What makes life difficult is when you're single, you think, oh, I'm really missing all those lovely things from a relationship. When you're in a relationship, you're like, damn, I miss being single. And that's the great debate that has followed me through my life. Can you imagine that, seeing all those sharks come and just the noise and the blood and the screech? Oh my God. And so let's work it out. So about 1,000 people got killed by sharks. You know that movie where it was made from the book, and the book was written by a bloke who done it. I think it was an Italian rugby team. They crashed a plane. The plane was only 5 miles away from a point of, they could have made contact with humanity 5 miles in one direction. But of course, they didn't know. Every day they'd go out walking and come back, and it was all snow, and loads of them were dying. Loads died in the plane crash, and they ended up eating the dead to stay alive. And most of them turned to God. When they were finally found, they became very religious because they needed to deal with the fact they'd eaten their friends. You know, these were a rugby team. Can you imagine the camaraderie? And that's hard. That's got to be hard to live with. But I think that USS Indianapolis thing, in a way, must be I suppose it's a bit weird. What's the most traumatic? But I think witnessing a feeding frenzy that killed 1,000 of your colleagues must be fucking... And then to find out it was largely unnecessary, the war had pretty much come to an end. You know, the Indianapolis wasn't making aggressive maneuvers against Japan. Not sure says, who is this loser? Bye. It's not sure. See ya. Yeah, I just find that awful, and Will Self really goes into it. You know, it's the theme that the whole book's written around. Good God. Submarine was wicked, wasn't it? We all live in a yellow submarine. Oh, no way. Baz was in freezing water, swept overboard, near death. Just before that, got rescued. Near the end was quite lovely, actually. Fuck me, what happened? Ah, good call, Emrys. Well, that's also in Will Self's book, because it's very clever of the writer. Did Spielberg write Jaws? No, he didn't, did he? He just directed it, I think. There's that amazing scene because the poncy little scientist and what's his name? Quint, I think his name is. You know, the bloke who scratches the blackboard. I'll kill that shark for you. There's that bit where they're all having a drink and they're showing each other their scars. It's quite a great scene in the movie, but there's a very, very lovely doff of the cap to the USS Indianapolis, because as they're showing scars, he's got a USS Indianapolis tattoo. And the scientist goes, you see him, he's like, it's Dreyfus, isn't it? It's Dreyfus. And he goes, you were on the Indianapolis? And he sort of goes, yeah. And suddenly you realize why he's got this fucking mad drive to kill sharks, because he was part of that. The sharks, they got them all. No, good call, Emrys. It makes that, when you know that, because I didn't know that before I read Will's book, but when you know that, makes that scene a lot more. I imagine Americans are a little bit more familiar with that story than British people. There you go, Quint. Yeah. You're in the water, sharks in the water. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. But it's beautiful how it comes about. They're looking at scars and then he sees the tattoo and he goes, you were on the Indianapolis. And then you understand Quint's character, because before that, why is he so good at his job? Why has he got this hatred of killer sharks? No, don't talk to me about noradrenaline. Good Lord. Endorphins, that's the one I was looking for, Baz. I always forget that one. Most of my life I haven't had to worry about them. Hello, Mr. Palmer. John, you must know the story of the Indianapolis. Well pronounced. You must know the story of the... That must be something that goes around sailors all the time, or Navy people. There you go, Rags. That's the one. It would be lovely to be able to watch that scene now, but you know what happens. Let's see if we can watch a little bit of it. Let's see if we can just see the bit where he asks him. He does that wonderful speech, doesn't he? Damn. Right, we'll try and see if we can get away with 30 seconds of it. Hang on, let me just see. We'll get past the crap.
Japanese submarines.
There you go. It's right at the beginning of it. So,
Japanese
shut up with your Japanese submarines, Quint. They're called Jubmarines around here. A new local meme has been born. I think I saw. Hello, Lee. Good to see you, mate. Yes, you do, Vincent. Here, I'm going to give it to you anyway. I'm sure I saw Matt drop a 5 spot as well. Hello, Planet X. There you go. Thank you, Matt. Quinton, is it Quinton? Is that his full name? Was out being a sailor while the spectacle-wearing Hooper was counting money with his soft hands. There you go. That's the relationship, isn't it? But it's lovely. It's a great moment in the movie. We'll have a look at it. But look, if I get Matt, thanks for that donation as well. There you go, Matt. If I get yeeted, it will be a couple of minutes. I'll come back. Richard Dreyfus at the OJ trial sat next to AIU, who introduced me to this channel. Yeah, he's got footage. He's got footage of it, hasn't he, Devon? Where it was on telly, and you see Devon with his hair, and you see Dreyfus sitting next to him. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's called Alive. The book was written by one of the survivors, It's hard work. It's hard work. They talk about dehumanizing people. If you're going to have to eat people, you go, you hide their faces and you forget their names and all that. Yes, absolutely, Planet X. It's incredible. We'll try and watch a little bit of it, but they've been a little bit... Dual Citizen says, dead eyes, like a doll's eyes. Or Konstantin Kittin's eyes. There's something wrong there, isn't there? He's vitamin deficient, right? He's so grey. Why is he so grey? Come on, turn up the colour. Yeah, we're going to have a little look at it, but we're going to get dramas. Right, let me get the old headphones in. Oh, I've got work messages coming through. Where are we? 46 minutes. I reckon we can do another half hour. I've got clips to watch. I've got memes to look at. Good Lord. He's certainly morally deficient. Do you remember when he said that to that victim of the grooming gangs? Well, white people can't collectivize. I mean, look at history. I went fucking mad. Even Morgoth, who me and Morgoth don't see eye to eye. I think there's a little bit of mutual respect there, though. But even Morgoth put on Twitter, Dangerfield's kicking off about over trigonometry and tweeted it. I couldn't believe it. White people can't collectivize. I mean, you can fuck off. The one thing that would have stopped her being tortured and repeatedly raped would have been our people collectivizing. The one thing that would stop it happening again would be that. But according to Konstantin Kittin, who's got the fucking lack of balls to say that to her, yeah, but we can't do that because, history. And coming from a group of people who are well known to collectivize, I just thought, wow, you obscene pillock. I have to. It's a bit like Albert Camus' Myth of Sisyphus. Spoiler alert, at the end of Camus' Myth of Sisyphus, he basically says that Sisyphus is smiling because he fucking has to. Because when you're pushing a rock up a mountain and knowing it's going to come down, you smile because if you give up hope, you're fucked. It's a little bit more poetic than that, but that's kind of the end of the Myth of Sisyphus, Camus one. But when he just went, because history, I thought I like Camus' Sisyphus. I thought I've got to believe that he's just stupid, because the alternative I can't live with. I can't live with that. And in fairness, I know that the alternative is the truth, but I just can't. No. You cannot be that evil. Please don't let that be the case. Anyway, yeah, that's what it felt like. Brad says, never seen a grey person. I've seen a black man that turned green, literally. He changed back once withdrawals calmed down. Well, funny thing does happen to your skin. I lose a lot of colour in my face when I'm withdrawing. And then, of course, all the veins underneath sort of come through. So I can understand a bit of greenery there. But, well, we've also got to talk about 4chan politically incorrect latest trolling. But let's see if we can watch at least a little bit of Quint talking about the USS Indianapolis. Let's get the headphones working, and then we can get the VAR. We're about to hit 100, so I'll drag the grift out. I'll put the music on, don't worry. Give you something to enjoy while I'm going over the same old rag again. Where are we? Hello? It's gone down to 31 degrees. Fucking hell, what is this, winter? Right, you should have audio. Yeah, that's the one, Looney. You've obviously been keeping up with the 4chan trolling. Right, here we go. Let's see if we can do 30 seconds without getting yeeted. And, of course, when I drop it out, you're going to be like, oh, no, show it all. It's a great performance as well. So, just to give you the backstory, they're pissed up. These two fellas don't get on. They're on the boat with Brody, and they're searching for Jaws, the killer great white, giant great white. Having a few whiskies has sort of got them together a bit. They were comparing scars, and then the Dreyfus character, the bloke in the background, sees that Quint was on the USS Indianapolis, which saw over 1,000 US troops killed by the biggest feeding frenzy of sharks ever in history. And so when he says to him, you were on that boat, and then Quint says this. If someone could give me an audio check, just so that I know I'm not playing nothing. We'll see if we can get away with a bit. If it does get yeeted, I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Japanese submarine slammed 2 torpedoes into our side, Chief. He was coming back from the island of Tinian to Leyte, just delivered the bomb, the Hiroshima bomb. 1,100 men went into the water. Vessel went down in 12 minutes. Didn't see the first shark for about half an hour. Tiger, 13-footer. You know that when you're in the water, Chief.
Right, I know you don't want me to stop it, but it gives me a little bit more chance of not getting yeeted. No, I think I got the numbers right. Over 1,000 people went into the water. He just said that. He just said that as well. I think 150 survived. 1,000 went, over 1,000 went into the water, and about 150 survived. Hello, Meganesia. Been a while. Hello, loves. Have an empty nest, so it's living again and losing attention. America or Russia? Oh, that's a bit cryptic, the question. Nice to see you. What do you mean empty nest? Kids have left the roost or partner? Lumi, I don't get what you're getting at. Yes, me too, Planet X, but I have to stop it. Dual Citizen says tiger sharks, but many of those taken by sharks were already dead from exposure, dehydration from saltwater consumption. Yeah, and tiger sharks are actually more aggressive than great whites, apparently. But anyway, we'll try a bit more, see how we get on.
You tell by looking from the dorsal to the tail. What we didn't know was our bomb mission had been so secret, no distress signal had been sent. They didn't even list us overdue for a week. Very first light, Chief. Sharks come cruising. So we formed ourselves into tight groups. It's kind of like old squares in a battle, like you see in a calendar, like the Battle of Waterloo, and the idea was...
I don't like the idea of that at all. So no distress signal went out. No one's coming to get them. As he said, I didn't know that, I have to admit, that they delivered the bomb that they dropped on Hiroshima. But it was so secret that no one knew they were out there. And if they didn't see them for about half hour, they could have been pulled out of the water. Ouch. It really is, Ludwig. I'd love to just play the whole thing through, but I'll try a little bit more. I'm sorry to keep interrupting it. Hello, Natty. How are you, son? I don't know what that means. That's between you and JC.
Shark comes to the nearest man, that man he starts pounding and hollering and screaming. Sometimes the shark would go away. Sometimes he wouldn't go away. Sometimes that shark, he looks right into you, right into your eyes. You know the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes. black eye, like a doll's eye.
It's really good. Oh, there you go. Hello, Raymond. Just checked 1991 film Shout about, I think, sinking and a shark attack. Yeah, there you go. But I do advise Will Sells book Shark because it's all built around this. It's built all around this. I'll tell you what, if you're into Jaws, watch, I think it's The Critical Drinker, but it might not be. It is, I think. The Critical Drinker done a series, Production Hell, about films that were absolute hell to make. Apocalypse Now is a great one that he does. Apocalypse Now was mental. You know, Martin Sheen, is it Martin? I always forget. Yeah, Martin Sheen had a heart attack during the filming of Apocalypse Now, but his brother looks quite a lot like him, and his brother played most of the second half of the film for Martin Sheen, because he was an alcoholic. He was in the jungle. He was in real trouble. He had a nervous breakdown. I mean, the opening scene of the film, that wasn't scripted. They just said to him, just do what you want. He was already shit-faced. They give him another bottle of whiskey. Coppola did. And said, go on, just do what you want. And he does all that weird Tai Chi and then smashes the mirror through. Apparently, there was about an hour and a half footage of that, and they clipped it down. You've got the Doors, The End playing over it at the beginning of the movie, which is a great, it's my favourite film, Apocalypse Now. But to start at the end, it suggests that Martin Sheen's already been completely dehumanised by war. You know, when I was in the jungle, I wanted to be at home. When I was at home, I wanted to be in the jungle. I didn't say a word to my wife. For 6 months until I said yes to a divorce. Anyway, going back to Jaws, watch The Critical Drinker's Production Hell, because making Jaws was a fucking nightmare. And, you know, any films made at sea are difficult. But yeah, check it out, because everyone thought it was just going to be shit. Even up to like before they were editing it, they were like, God knows how we're going to string this load of nonsense together. And of course, it's an absolutely classic and, dare I say, very underrated movie. Now, admittedly, everyone has heard of it and people go, yeah, I like Jaws. But it's kind of seen as a sort of a novelty, sort of almost humorous film. But it's actually fucking brilliant. No, Spybot. I mean, look, it's all subjective, but the Redux is bollocks. All that French rubber plantation. There's a reason Coppola cut the original cut, because that was the original cut. I think that was just, let's get some more money out of it. There you go. Some says much the same. Yeah, I'm not interested. The original cut is the movie, and it's near perfect filmmaking. Anyway, a little bit more of this. We're getting away with it, and I am interrupting so that I don't get done. And I know it's ruining the rhythm of it, but such is YouTube.
When he comes at you, doesn't seem to be living until he bites you, and those black eyes roll over white, and then you hear that terrible high-pitched screaming. The ocean turns red, and in spite of all the pounding and the hollering, they all come in and they rip you to pieces.
There you go. I don't want to risk any more because I know the chat's going to be full of F's in a minute. Go and check it out. Just type in Jaws Indianapolis speech scene and you can watch that, and it'll send goosebumps up your back, and you'll be watching Jaws before midnight. No, that's all right, Spybot. That, you know, I know a lot of people. You know, I don't like favourites because have I not changed in 20 years? Why is that still my favourite? But I'd be lying if I didn't say. If someone said to me, "What's your favourite film?" It would be Apocalypse Now. I think it's remarkable. I read if you're a fan of Apocalypse Now, there's a book called Dispatches by Michael Kerr, and he wrote most of the dialogues that Martin Sheen's character says. And he was a journalist out in Vietnam, and Vietnam was one of the first wars where there were journalists on the ground, actually, literally taking photos of battles and writing it all down and all that stuff. It's he wrote all that stuff. He wrote all those monologues. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. But there you go. Right, so that was a little bit of Jaws. We went on a proper Jaws a wringle there, didn't we? Right, let's get this grift out of the way. Well, then we can get back to some VAT. Right, it's nice to be doing an early one. I'm going to have to jump ship soon. Jump ship, see? Keep it all together. Themed stream. I like to call it a theme stream. Theme streamer. Oh, Mark, are you still in here? Let me know if you're here, Mark. I've got a little question for you. It's not a work question either. Right. When you were helping my mother out yesterday, and I've already thanked you for that and much appreciated. Have you noticed what she's like with her vape? She's just... Well, I don't know why it's been happening. Fuck me, mate. When I Skype her, and I think I see a bit of myself in it. I have this thing stuck in my hand. But my mother's like this. She's literally like this. Hello, European housewife. She's just like this. She never used it. Oh, that's interesting. She must have a slight awareness about it then. Okay. When I talk to her on Skype, she's getting more vape than she is air, without a doubt. Hello, European housewife. Hello, Ian. Hope you're all right, son. Lumi said, I think a shark will bite my leg off. It hangs out of the bed. Oh, hang on a minute. I got that completely wrong. I thought that was a Willy joke. I think a shark will bite my leg off if it hangs out of the bed. Yeah, that went from a Willy joke to you've got problems. Hello, Crow. Nice to see you. Skin Scar says, stayed at the Rex Hotel in Nam, where all the American hacks used to send their reports back to the USA. Up on the Modelay, the waterfront, the riverside, waterfront. Go on and move on up to the waterfront. There's the FCC, the Foreign Correspondence Club, which was the Rex Hotel of Cambodia. And it's the same now, pretty much as it was then. All like Doric columns, like some colonial hotel and boozer and restaurant. Fucking lovely little place, actually. You can get up there and there's no glass. You can just sit and look over the river and just have a gin and tonic. And obviously, when I'm all ponced up in my English finery, I am transported back. And then if you go from the FCC to the Raffles, which is just peak colonialism, it's a grand afternoon and evening out. Mr. MF says, vaping was my cure for smoking. It's way more addictive. Yeah, it is. Because when you smoke, you get what you want out of it. You remind yourself of your mortality. It makes your head zing. It makes your chest hurt. It's fucking horrible. But that's why people smoke. They smoke because they want to say, fuck off to the world of health, the world of looking after yourself. It's almost like an acknowledgement of your mortality. But a vape doesn't give you that. And so the difference is when you have a snout, unless you're drinking and then you're going to be chain smoking, but when you have a snout, you look at the way people get rid of cigarettes. They'll flick them aggressively. Like if you're outside a boozer, you're like, that last one, you're like, because you ate it. Or even when people stub me in ashtrays, sometimes they're like, fucking thing. But then you're all right for 40 minutes. Some people, I mean, I know some people do chain smoke. I remember when I was hitchhiking around England once, I was only about 16, and this bloke picked me up, and he would light his next cigarette off of the one he was smoking. So as that one got down to the butt, he'd get another one out of the pack, like that, flick that one out the window. I was like, wow, you like a cigarette, man. But I'd rather be vaping non-nicotine juice than smoking. I hated smoking and I could not stop. I stopped a few times, but the vapor certainly kept me off the snouts. Well, this is what I'm thinking, John. You know, I've got a very strange relationship with my mother, you know, as a lot of us have, I think. Not with my mother, with our own mothers. But Skin Scar, there's a lot of that. I remember when I went out to Vietnam once to see Hugh, and we had a few drinks, smoked a few bifters. It was amazing, actually. Like Cambodia, you can just make a bifter up in a bar and no one cares. It's amazing. Why should you? And we got on, I was going to call him Skew. We got on Hugh's scooter, and I said, take us back to my hotel. He said, yeah, I'm going to do you the scenic route. And he took me back down all those beautiful French boulevards and all that lovely French architecture in Vietnam, which we've got in Cambodia. The Cambodian post office is fucking amazing. That whole square just looks like a little village in France. And inside the post office is much the same as it was. It looks like it was, you'd imagine it looked like that, 150, 100 years ago. It's quite the thing. Little bit of mutage there. We marked Marks yesterday, didn't we? Oh, you did make a joke about vape. Yeah. She likes it. She'll drink a bottle. Was she drinking? She's lovely. I know she's lovely, my mother. But I bet she was drinking. If it was after 4 o'clock, she'd have had a glass of wine. I swore at her the other night, and I had to apologise. At one point, I went, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Mum!" And then I went, "Sorry." And she went, "Should we do this when you're in a better mood?" I went, No. I'm all right. I wasn't. I was so frustrated. Right, Mum, can you open up your email? Well, I can't do that unless I close down Skype. Oh, yes, you can. You don't need to close every window to open another one. She's only had a computer 10 years, Click that. Right click. Left click that. Once. But here's the thing, and I'll tell you the truth. Mark, who went and helped her, has always been my go-to for computer problems. And I'm much the same as her. I reckon Mark gets as frustrated with me as I do her, because they'll say to me, do this, and I'll be like, and also when something comes up on the screen, like, so I tell my mum to do something, and she'll say, it says, would you like to install Skype version 2.7? Skype has, and she starts reading it, and I go, no, don't worry about all that. Just click install. But when Mark's helping me, I'm exactly the same. Okay, mate, it's saying blah, blah, and he's really patient with me, and he says, yeah, you can ignore that. Just so I reckon what it is, and this is a thing that all group therapists will tell you. If you what's the line? Spot it, you've got it. So if you see someone else behaving in a way that really presses your buttons, chances are on an unconscious level they're reminding you of you. And I've seen it so many times. It's not a nice thing to admit, but sometimes you've got to do it. Did you think I was just going out there? It's mosquito hour. If I don't shut the windows. If I don't shut the windows, I'll be bitten to pieces. Excuse me, people. Talk amongst yourselves. Hi, now let me sort that colour out because that's ridiculous. Meganesia says it's the stay away body language. Thanks, Meg. That's lovely. Thank you very much. There you go, lovely. Really, did it happen once? Right, the grift has been appalling, so I'm just going to do this. Hi, you can become a member. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on. All right there. This is how you can support this channel with a few quid of your filthy lucre. You can become a member. We have private streams for the members. That's the top link in the description. The further up the payment strata you go, you get to see more of the private streams. Alternatively, the YouTube, the super chat link is at the bottom. It's the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat. That's quite handy. I will now pin the entropy link to the top of the YouTube. Come back here. The top of the YouTube chat. So if you donate via entropy, which is now up there, you don't give YouTube anything. All right, and stop. Right, I think I missed a donation from Raymond. Did I deal with that already, Raymond? Let me know if I missed it, because I think I don't know what's happening. Oh, there you go. Hello, Raymond. Anyway, morning, Chris and lovely scrubs. There you go. Thank you, Raymond. Machano Prasha Tutu. Yes, without a doubt, Ludwig says Hearts of Darkness is a documentary to watch. So Francis Ford Coppola's missus, who's also a director, she, while they were making Apocalypse Now, she documented the making of it. And then she made a documentary called Hearts of Darkness, which is the making of Apocalypse Now. Now, I'd suggest you watch Apocalypse Now before watching Hearts of Darkness, because otherwise it won't make sense. But hello, Emma. Nice to see you. Oh, quick mute for a burp. Right, I think the show's about to start. Grego done an entropy. I can't see it, Grego. I don't think you have, mate. Let me refresh entropy. Oh, that's weird. It is there, but it's not in the usual bit. Hang on a minute. So tell me, Grego, is that an entropy or an entropy? Is that an entropy donation or an entropy chat? I'm not calling you out for not donating, but that's really weird because it's I haven't heard that for a while. I don't know why it's gone into that weird little bit. Hello, Mr. Salmon. Good to see you. What? Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at this. This looks shocking. So Grego says there is currently a hit play in the West End called The Shark is Broken, about filming Jaws. Robert Shaw's son-in-law plays Quint, and he's a spitting image. And I've just looked at it, and I thought that was Quint. Right, we'll probably get done. I mean, it's ridiculous that you get a copyright guideline problem for showing trailers. They're adverts. Why wouldn't they want me to show you the advert of their play? Madness. But we'll have a look at a little bit of it. So The Shark is Broken. It's a play about the making of Jaws. I hate the theatre. I absolutely hate it. I can't stand going to it. Have you got audio?
The USS Indianapolis, June the 29th, 1945. 2 torpedoes from a Japanese submarine slammed into our side. We was coming back across the Pacific from Tinian to Leyte. Damn near 1,100 men went over the side. Lifeboats was lashed down so tight for the bomb run we couldn't cut a single one adrift. There was no rafts. None. Oh, for God's sake.
Arc at the fucking absolute sane bloke on the sun on that.
I can't say this. It's duller than my tax return.
Oh, no. You can't take the piss out of the best scene in the film. That's a terrible submarine. Sink that submarine. Nice one, Steve. That was ridiculous. But if you're in London and you've got absolutely nothing else in the world to do, maybe go and watch that humiliation of our culture. Thanks. Here's a little, and that's what I thought, Mr. Sump. It felt like sacrilege, yeah. I mean, take the piss out of the movie for sure, but that scene's fucking brilliant. How can he do that to his own old man? What? I can't say this is what? Wow. Now this is a copywritten song, but we should be able to get away with it. I'll tell you the gag so that you know it. So you know the song dun, 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 put it on the Ritz. Yeah, it's a well-known song. Well, this is Putin on the Ritz. if you I don't know if in America you have Ritz crackers, but this is Putin on the Ritz. It's worth a couple of seconds.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz.
I'm so glad that someone sat there and went, Putin on the Ritz. Yeah, Putin on the, yeah, I'm going to do it. And they done that. Raymond, bless you. In these griftacious drought times, it's the likes of you that keeps this engine of entertainment driving down the roads of eternity. Oh, now it's going to be tricky. Poxy Lip Snow. Poxy Lip Snow, starring Lizard Jane and Lobster Girl. Co-starring Fudge Mum. Poxy Lip Snow. I don't know where you're coming from with Poxy Lips Snow. Or am I reading it wrong? Poxy Lips. Oh, Apocalypse Now. Poxy Lips Now. Okay, yeah, got there in the end. It's hard work sometimes, people. Nice one, Raymond. And co-starring Fudge Mum. Thanks for that 5-bit, Raymond. Someone said to me via email rather than leaving a comment on Substack, which, please, if you want to ask me something about my Substack, put it on the Substack. It helps me out. They said to me, why would you have a hit in the back of your mother and her friend's motor rather than wait until you got home? And I it was only like an half-hour drive, but let me tell you something. When you're rattling, a second is it's William Blake. It's seeing a flower in the palm of your hand and an eternity in an hour or whatever it is. It's just no. I would rather my own mother who born me watch me jab that spike in, because I can't wait any longer. I've been waiting 5-6 hours. No. And I'll tell you once, I think I might have told you this before. Me and Gail, remember Gail from the Crack Diaries, and I've done that interview with her. We went and scored in Abbey Wood once, and we picked up a few bags. And as we were walking back, what she thought was to the station, I've spun a right, and she's gone, hang on, where are we going? I said, I've got her over here. Now, she wasn't withdrawing because she'd cleverly kept some from the night before. But I was right in it. I said, I've got to have some. She went, oh, come on. She went, let's just wait till we get back to Dartford. I went, fuck off. We've gone into this like mid-rise block, gone up 3 flights of stairs. So we're on the top stairwell. Yeah, there's doors and people and all that. Not people, but people living behind the doors, obviously. And on the stairs down, one stair below, there were some builders like toshing up the walls with some fuck knows what. And so I've got my little spoon out and I've got it all going. And she's going, fucking be careful. And then one of the builders, one of these decorators, starts walking up the stairs. I don't give a shit. What's he going to do? Kick it out my hand? He's just going to look at it and go, you reprobate shit. Which is exactly what he done. He just went. So I just carried on, filter, trousers down. Oh, thank fuck for that. About 2, and Gail's going, you're a fucking idiot. We could get nicked now, and then we're going to lose it all. And I was going, just shut up. Just shut up. I needed it. I needed it immediately. I needed it 10 hours ago. About 2 weeks later, she's right in it. She's absolutely in it. And I'm not at all. And I'm just like lazing around the house. I go, I might have a cup of tea before we go. She's going, fuck off. You ain't having a cup of tea. Let's go. She's fully dressed. We get to Abbey Wood. We score. And I go, so I take it we're just going to jump on the train. You're going to have that in Dartford. She's already gone behind a bush. That's amazing. Are you going to wait till we get home? So that is why you do awful things like that in the back of your mother's mate's car, because you ain't got time for fucking you ain't got time to wait. Imagine your nickname being Lizard. Yeah, she's awful. And she'd say that as well. What's your name? Lizard Jane. Lizard Jane. Yeah, okay. Used to be a model. Right, when was that? 400-500 years ago? Putting on the Ritz. No, absolutely ridiculous, Brad. I think she had 10 mils of methadone in a. I think she had a little bit of methadone, so she wasn't. No one keeps any. There's never enough. There's never enough. Any junkie will tell you when it gets to Christmas, no one's going to be serving up Christmas Day or Boxing Day. Maybe some people, but I didn't have any contacts at that time. So day before Christmas Eve, right, fuck it, we need some money. So you go out grafting, you go out poncing, nick some shoulders of lamb, nick a few bottles of whiskey, sell them to the boozers, go to anyone you know. Have you got a tenner? Do you think there's a tenner? So you finally get enough money. Then you try and find a weight. You want an eighth or something. You don't want to buy bags. You finally get that sorted right. So you've got an eighth. And what's an eighth going to be? What is that? That's about 17 bags. But if it does weigh an eighth, it's actually about 24, 25 bags because they never properly weighed. And so you've got this eighth. So you're like, right, that'll see us for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day, right? It's all gone by Christmas morning every time. Always do it. Skin Skull says, my brother used to shoot up anywhere. He didn't give a fuck. Yeah, you don't. I remember once there was about 8 of us, because what happens is every junkie gets up about 10 o'clock. Every junkie gets on that same train all the way down from Chatham. And so you start sort of, it's sort of like the coming together of not warriors. So by the time you get off at Abbey Wood, there's about 10 of you, sometimes 20. But there was about 10 on this day. And because everyone's got the same outfits on, big army parkas, hooded top under that, 4 T-shirts under that, junky joggers, Reebok classics. Everyone looks like they're dying. And you all sort of just congregate. And it's like, Who you seeing? And everyone knows who does the best deals. Everyone knows who's going to take the longest. So is John on? If John's on, sweet. He'll be there in 10 minutes. He'll sort us all out. No dramas. John's on. Wicked. We've all got to go down here. So we're going through the estate, all standing there, red hot. You know, it's an absolute, the communal noun is a shit of junkies. And John turns up, bosh, serves everyone. Everyone just shuffles high speed. It's like, you know, those speed walkers. It's that weird sport where you don't run, but you sort of go. Well, it's like everyone's doing that. No one's got the energy to run, but it's sort of faster than walking. Get on the train. Now, this is a public train. It wasn't commuter time, but there was still about 40 people, 30 people in our carriage. Everyone gets on the train, spoons out, gear in. No one gives a fuck. Everyone cooks up. And then, of course, everyone just takes their trousers down. Men, women, everyone. Just trousers down, knickers and pants if you've got them on around your knees. And there's just people there with their kids, people reading newspapers. There's 10 people standing there with their trousers around their ankles, just pissing with sweat. Fucking horrific. What an absolute mess. Dennis says, I read a quote from Keith Levine about skag, and that he was attracted to that need, how you absolutely have to score at some point. Well, maybe once it's attractive. The next 20 years, horrific. They call it cold turkey. Did I miss something? Have I missed another gag? We all know why they call it cold turkey. Let's not go down the smack road. Oh, yeah, anyone. Absolutely anyone. There you go. Yeah. And that's why they wear them. They wear them because they think there was a big thing around about 2001, where because all the domestic thieves were junkies and they all had Reebok Classics, everyone wore them. So that if they said, we found footprints, Reebok Classics, it was like, well, that's about 300 people it could be. This is ridiculous. There you go, Dennis, before he got into it. Yeah. I used to say that before I became a junkie, I wanted to become one, and I did. But I didn't know what it was to be one. And when I was one, I really didn't. I really didn't. Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to move away from it. Let's go. Let's have a look at some footage. This is very interesting. I tell you what. So remember when I talked about Trump's SPAC? We're not going back to SPACs, but a SPAC is a special purpose acquisition. Anyone know? Special purpose acquisition. Fuck. Why can't I remember? What is a SPAC stock? Company. There you go. A SPAC, right, is a special purpose acquisition company. They're known as blank check companies. So Trump set one up, ticker $DWAC, right? And what it is imagine I said to all of you lot, right, if everyone could put a Mr. MF, I'm on it. I've just seen that. I remember doing the VAR, but not shouting it. I've done Raymond's. Mr. MF, I'll do that in a minute. I haven't missed it, mate. Well, I had, but you just reminded me. So say I said to all you lot, right, why don't we all chip in $1,000 each and set up a business? But let's see what money we can raise first. And then we can start thinking about what business. That is a very crude, but kind of legitimate description of what a SPAC is. So 50 of you might say, okay, here's a bag of sand. I chuck mine in. Now we've got 51 grand. Right, let's see what we can do with this, right? So Donald Trump set up a SPAC probably in view of his Truth Social, right? And the ticker was $DWAC. Now, I had a few quid and I've got onto Free Trade. They didn't have it. And I was like, come on, Free Trade. So you can suggest a Free Trade ones you want. So I told them, week later, still not there. Then I forgot about it. Then I forgot about this Donald Trump SPAC, right? So as I showed you yesterday, Donald Trump's Truth Social went live and immediately maxed out. There's now something like another 1 million people waiting in a waiting list. It's going to fly. And then I saw this. And I'm pissed, right? I'm pissed. But it also still might be an opportunity. Have a look at this. Hopefully the music won't get me fucked. But this is from Forbes. There'll be no music if I don't select audio. Here we go. Have a look at this. Yeah, we don't need to see any more of that. The important bit was the stock going through the roof. Did you see Forbes trying to slag it off in there as well? The stock just went absolutely crazy. Stocks don't go crazy without faith. That's all it's about. Has the industry got faith in it? Do institutional investors think that Truth Social and Trump merging it with this other company is going to work? Because if they don't, the stock doesn't go up. And it's fucking flying. Now, if I'd have had that fucking... Now, listen, as I've said to all free traders, stick with your indexes, stick with your ETFs, 10, 15 years, but have a 10% gamble. If you haven't got your 10% gamble, that might be one worth looking at. Because I think Truth Social is going to go through the roof. Did you say, it had glitches? Oh, no other software has glitches, no. Windows doesn't have glitches when it releases a new one, no. It's always perfect, cheeky bastards. Other people are inundated with error messages. Yeah, it's because it's so fucking popular. There's only so much you can process. It is exactly that, yes. It is exactly that. It's quite nice, isn't it? So if you are on free trade and you spread your bets across a load of indexes, it might it's a little tip. I reckon that it's a $DWAC. That's a ticker. It might be worth a punt. Don't go mad, but it might be worth a punt. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a professional. Do your due diligence. But if I had a spare few quid, I'd I would probably wait for it. I don't know, actually, because it might flatten out a bit after the sort of launch of Truth Social, and then it might go up again, but it might just keep going up. So who knows? Right, let's have a look at this aunt from Mr. MF. Interesting though, unnecessary digging out by Forbes. How can you on the one hand say the stock went up fucking 17% in 2 days and went up as much as $175 and then go, but it's full of problems, it's all shit, it's rubbish, it's Trump, orange man, rubbish. Doesn't make any sense. Oh yes it does, they hate him. It actually does. Putin on the Ritz. Mr. MF, Machano Caprasciuto. In the story about Lizard Girl, Jane, please. You really had me near the end when you said you gave her one of the 2 bags. So relieved when you said jokes. I think it was Skin Scar. Who emailed me with much the same comment. Yeah. I think it's kind of a trope of my writing to do that. Say something, then go, no, not really. It's in my novel so many times. Then this happened, and it makes me out to be a really nice bloke, and I go, nah, not really. Fuck her. Not a chance. Even if that person hadn't have robbed me, even if it was just a stranger, you're not giving someone a bag of gear. No. However, you do get situations, I must admit, you do get situations like that hunting fella where you actually do really get on. And me and him really did look out for each other for that 5 days. So, there's... Fuck her anyway. You'd think so, Steve. You certainly think so. And then, if Trump wins the presidency, it's gonna go crazy. It might, if you've got a monkey laying about, maybe Steve would take a punt on it. Yeah. Well, there you go. But Dennis, if you have, mate, don't chuck it on a stock like that. Get email. I'll talk to you on Skype. Just indexes. You're young, Dennis. If you could get 500 quid a month, or even 200 quid a month into your ISA for the next 10 years, you'll be a millionaire in 10 years. Do that. Get frugal. Stop wasting money on Rennie. Hello, Ash. Nice to see you. I don't think that's going to happen, Colt. I think no one's going to spend the money on a presidential campaign without making sure that can't happen. I don't think that. And they're already setting up polling police. There'll be people in those polling stations 24/7. Not a chance. Hello, Plastic African. You reckon we got 10 years left? We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We've had nuclear bombs for fucking 80 years now. Dropped a couple of atomic bombs on Japan, which weren't even as bad as the firebombing we'd done on Japan. I think the firebombing was far more devastating. I think what happened in Dresden was far more. I'm getting a phone call that I can't answer. I think Dresden was worse, but there you go. I think we'll be fine. Crow says, yeah, about time we use them. That's not nice. I don't think that's the spirit. People have been screaming it's the end since the beginning. He certainly did, Emma. Old Rittenhouse. He even said Senk. He called him Senk. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Great novel, Ludwig. Incredible work. Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. Amazing. Mutage, absolute mutage. What I just said is, where are we? Shit, hour and 40 minutes. I've got a day's work to do. Let's have a little look at this. This is very interesting. We haven't had a look at any marked dice for a while. Check this out. Very interesting. It's called, the video is called, It's Happening All Across America. And here's why. Check this out. Very interesting.
Some manifestations of mental illness cause those who suffer from them to have visual or auditory hallucinations, or radically misinterpret benign events or actions of others as hostile. One form of hallucinations that many liberals suffer from today is seeing racism around every corner, where, of course, none exists. Everyone remembers when NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace got scared after seeing a garage door pull rope at the Talladega Superspeedway and thought that the KKK were coming to get him, and a dozen FBI agents were put on the case. But that imaginary hate crime is just one of countless that delusional liberals dream up on a daily basis. Strangely, much of this imaginary racism is discovered in one of the least racist places on the planet, college campuses. Police investigated a noose hung up on a door handle at Michigan State University after a black student saw it and panicked, but their investigation revealed it was just someone's lost shoelace that another student had found on the floor and then put on a stairwell door handle, hoping whoever lost it may spot it. Similarly, a student at Bowling Green State University in Ohio reported she saw a KKK meeting in a classroom when she walked by outside and happened to notice Klan members through the window dressed up in their white hoods and robes. Campus police investigated and discovered the student had mistaken some lab equipment that was covered up with plastic dust covers as the KKK hoods. But it's not just college students who keep imagining racism everywhere these days. Many professors are experiencing the hallucinations too. One at Michigan State University warned students that white people who do yoga are perpetuating racism.
You bastard scrubs! You bastards! You. I mean, do you remember that document that was talking about white supremacy? And it was things like white culture is things like turning up on time, working, having ambition, raising a family. And it was like, yeah, that is. I'll give you that. It's not white supremacy, but we do that sort of thing. We do work, yeah. Yeah, we like families, yeah. But fucking yoga's from India, you daft bastards.
Several at San Diego State University alerted students that they thought farmers markets were racist. Farmers markets are often white spaces where food consumption habits of white people are normalized, they said. A similar delusion.
I mean, I am laughing at this, and I'm not laughing going, oh, the world's gone mad. This is the end of the whole woke thing. This is the end of it. You know, farmers markets are normalizing white spaces. Yeah, because they're normal white spaces. Now, when you get to that level of insanity, that's like saying having white skin gives you white skin. That's not an argument. That's just seeing. Farmers markets. And it's an interesting one, actually, farmers markets, because who doesn't make money from that? Who doesn't earn when people start working in their community? Who doesn't earn when you take the corporations out, when you take the middleman out? When it goes from farm to table. Interesting, that. Is it white supremacy, or is it just people looking for a more healthier, localized and not globalized way of living? How are we gonna shut it down? Fuck it, call it white supremacy.
Broke out at the University of Illinois, where a professor proclaimed that math, algebra, and geometry promote white privilege. A professor at Clemson University in South Carolina proclaimed that simply expecting people to show up to work or school on time is racist. One at the University of Washington claims that American grammar is racist and an unjust language structure. She's upset.
English grammar.
That certain people who speak with a ghetto accent or ghetto gibberish and use bad grammar are seen as uneducated and less intelligent than people who speak proper English. The professor claims that there is no inherent standard of English, no standards. White marble statues, like the ones commonly associated with ancient Greece, are white supremacist too, according to a University of Iowa professor. Quote,
yeah, they confuse something being good with supremacy. That's the issue, isn't it? And look, if you're not white and you don't like ancient Greek culture, okay, that's all right. I'm not particularly interested in ancient African culture. It doesn't really interest me. But I don't call it black supremacy. It just doesn't particularly. I quite like the Zulus, though. I've done quite a lot of research into the Zulus. But why is it supremacy just because it's white? That's it. That's it. That's the link. It's peculiar. It's such a... And then that's why I am laughing at it and not getting hysterical about it. This is finished. This is now just ridiculous. There's no holding this up. If they'd have been a little bit more intelligent, we'd have been in real trouble. But they're not. They're not that bright. And this is black people aren't making this stuff up. This isn't coming from the blacks. This is coming from white liberals. That's the tragedy. The whole woke thing is a white liberal phenomena. There's nothing funny about that, I have to admit.
The equation of white marble with beauty is not an inherent truth in the universe. It's a dangerous construct that continues to influence white supremacist ideas today, she said.
Well, the interesting thing about that is if you look at all that old Greek architecture, like the Colosseum and all the Doric columns and that, they weren't originally white. They were actually luminous colours, like bright oranges and bright pinks. They weren't all white in those days. You know, that's because they're very old and the paint has come off of them. But, you know, not the sculptures, in fairness, that they were, you know, cut out of white rock. But anything white is now supremacist. Wow. It's falling apart. It's over.
Even every kid's favorite lunch, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, have been labeled racist by a school principal in Portland. What about Somali or Hispanic students who might not eat sandwiches, she asked, expressing concern that peanut butter and jelly is considered a quintessential American food. Sadly, peanut butter and jelly isn't the only food that's been labeled divisive or racist by lunatics, though milk is now a symbol of white privilege and white supremacy to liberals. As you know, milk is promoted as the primary staple of a healthy diet, but apparently, a large number of black people are lactose intolerant, and so milk being promoted as a standard food is considered to be a symbol of white normativity being perpetuated in America. PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, calls milk a thinly veiled allegory for racial purity and the perfect drink for white supremacists everywhere. Trolls on 4chan, an online forum known for its...
Hello, Aidan. White liberals are also consume... Oh, that's not the one I wanted. That's not the comment I wanted. Hayden, and where do white liberals reside? Universities. And who is funding universities? Mainly Chinese people is the answer to that question. Mainly Chinese students fund universities. I don't think that's the answer you're looking for, but if you look into it, you'll find that tends to be it. Certainly in the UK, universities are full of Chinese Asian students because they pay top whack.
Creative pranks and hoaxes, decided to run with this idea and began spreading the news that white supremacists had indeed adopted milk as their new symbol, prompting some outlets to publish stories with headlines like, "Milk, a symbol of neo-Nazi hate," and "Milk is the new creamy symbol of white racial purity in Donald Trump's America." The viral video content farm, Now This, produced a video segment about how the word marijuana is rooted in racism and said that people should start calling it cannabis instead, which consists...
Right, John just said something interesting, and I didn't know that, which is terrible for someone who was at art school for 7 years. Where is it? John Palmer, the statues were not white. They were also painted. I didn't know that, John. I'm going to look into it. Not that I don't believe you, but I can't believe I've missed that. But that's incredible. There you go. Isaac's saying that as well. Incredible. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Amazing. Amazing. Nice one, people. Well, there you go. Learn something. Hello, Chona. Nice to see you, love.
Listed of some Mexican guy begging people to stop using the word because it's racist. The video seems like a parody, but he was being serious and even admitted that the word isn't inherently racist, but it was used by American prohibitionists to exploit racism and xenophobia. So by
we can't just keep watching the rest of Mark Dice there. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It's over. It's dying. It's on its last legs. Don't worry about it. It's all collapsing into itself because the left eat the left. John says, and I dropped out of school at 15 to take drugs. Yeah, but John, I went to art school at 16 to take drugs. On the government. Right. Let's have a little look at this. It's a bit of an odd one, but, it is early doors in the UK. Look at it getting dark here. I've got so much work to do. This is ridiculous. Check this out. Idiots in cars. Give us an audio check, will you, people?
Oh no!
I'm getting arrested, bro.
The geezer in the passenger seat is shitting himself. Thank you, Steve. The geezer in the passenger seat is just thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to go to Harvard now. My dad's going to kill me. They think they've got away with it. That's it. Just pretend you weren't going at 100 miles an hour.
That's it. It's the end of everything, bro.
And again. Fucking hell.
What is it?
Oops. Now look, I'm not a driver. I have driven a Volkswagen Beetle in first gear for about 200 meters. But tell me, people, we just saw that back brake on and that car just skidding. Tell me how ABS works. Is it ABS? What is it when you put your brakes on and rather than your brake locking, it starts and stops? And I'll tell you why, because I told you about it a couple of months ago. I've gone down into a car park when I went to the computer shop. And as I've pulled my brakes, my back brake's a bit fucked. So the front brake kicks in early, but the front brake kicks in and I just went and had a real slow motion falling off my bike. So it does pulse, does it? And it is called ABS. Look at that. I know something. Intermittent braking. Assisted brake server. And so the idea is exactly what I just said. So that is it so that you maintain an element of control? And here's the other thing. Do all modern cars, Quadrex is saying it's advanced braking system. Ragnar's saying it's anti-locking brake system. Looks like no one actually knows what it is. But is it so that you maintain an element of control? So it is that, okay. Because I noticed on my scooter that I was fucked as soon as I pulled that brake. Whereas if it had a little bit of movement, I reckon I'd have been able to keep it going. Okay, brilliant. Finally learned something. The typo's brilliant. You and steer. But yeah, you can steer. Okay, all right. John B says, I went from a car with ABS to an old Rover and almost crashed the first time I had to slam the brakes on. Good Lord. People who drive, how many times do you actually have to slam your brakes on? Is it a regular thing as a driver to have to just go, shit, or is it quite rare? I don't think I could do it. You know, I'm all right on a motorbike. I drove a motorbike as a teenager and sort of got used to it. But give me your PayPal address, Plastic African. I'll see if I can sort it out for you. Okay, so people are... Okay, so it's quite... Hello, Ital. I didn't know you were here, mate. Very rarely, unless you drive like a tit. What's name says no, yes. Sometimes yes, too often. There's the answer when you want to stop. Abstract Steve drives on his brakes. How interesting. Do you get ABS on motorbikes? Sorry this has really gone down the pan, this stream. Do you get ABS on motorbikes, or would that not help? Okay, you do. Hello, Brick on a String. You do. Mr. MF, I answered your question. I don't think I thanked you for that donation. The grift has been absolutely shocking. After tax, it's about £6. Oh, no, that's after Susan's tax. £3. 2 hours. Oh, the newer ones have it. I'm trying to work out how that would work on a motorbike. I'm trying to work out how that... Charlie's saying no. Other people saying yes. Oh, we've got ourselves in a right old conundrum about bikes here, haven't we? Right, hang on. This is a bit light-hearted, but it's your friend and mine. It's Odin's Men again, which is Jameson's Travels. I just want to leave the stream in a good mood. We don't always need to be looking at the world going mad. The show is about the star. Oh, it won't without any audio, but this is cracking, and from Rags as well. Check this out.
It's a science, bro.
How much vitriol do we have to see of honk honk, which is an acronym for hail? Do we need to?
Right. So I need to tell you about this. So, oh God, loads of messages coming through. Shit, I can't hang around. Thank you, Raymond. Much Arno Caprasha too. Very kind. So, you know 4chan. And 4chan have been kind of quiet recently. Back in the day, they were pranking. You know, they've done so many amazing things. The eye damp, getting that singer to the school that won that famous singer was a deaf school. What else did they do? When they tracked down that geezer and his flag, he will not divide us and all that. You know, 2016, they were so good. But the last real thing they done was that being a white supremacist symbol, and the media bought it. Now, that woman you just saw, and I'll take it back. Now, Odin's Men has bleeped out the word. But you know honk. You know the honkening, the truckers protest. Well, I hashtag these videos on Getter with honk and the honkening and the honkening. But 4chan politically incorrect, 4chan poll, they have just done it again. They have trolled not only the media, but governments. Apparently, and this is what they've done because they're brilliant at it. Honk honk is actually code for Heil himself. You know what I'm talking about. And they've bought it. They've absolutely bought it. You when this stream's over, when it finally starts, check out online the amount of media and governments who are now saying that honk honk is code for Heil himself. Hello? They didn't like that, did they? Whoa. I've just been warned. But the beautiful thing about 4chan is it's all timed and dated. So when they said, right, let's do this with honk honk. So they can now say, well, we suggested that we take the absolute piss out of you lying bastards on this day at this time, and you didn't mention it until after we told you. So fuck you. That's why this ridiculous woman who is in Parliament has actually bought it. I mean, she's in Parliament. She's a fucking, a senator or whatever it's fucking called where she is. You'd expect her to, do some due diligence. Well, let's actually see where this come from. Because I'll tell you what, anyone with half a brain, it will take you about 5 seconds to go 4chan. But no, she standed up in Parliament and went, yeah, it's Adolf, innit? It's Adolf. Hello, Mike. No, it's Adolf, innit? Check it out. Hang on. Sorry, people. I've got to do it again. For some reason, the sound stops when you interrupt it.
Do we have to see of honk honk, which is an acronym for hail? Do we need to see by these protesters on social media?
Warsaw High School had a walkout today, and this little girl had said this.
I am so glad that years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King, the first black man, ended slavery. Because if not, people would be whipped every day.
You always hear about the best and the brightest, how smart this generation is. Unfortunately, the public...
If you didn't hear that, she just said Martin Luther King ended slavery.
public education systems, leaving out a few key points in history.
Micah, the parents tell us that their children came home from camp. They were
Hello,
asking
Custard.
a lot of questions about gender and pronouns. The parents then reached out to the camp director, who told them that counselors, biological males who identify as they, them, are permitted to spend the night in cabins with the young girls.
Now, can you imagine the number of young boys that would be trolling? It's young boys who say, yeah, I'm they, them. I want to bunk with the girls, bro. And the camp organizers are so stupid. They're like, oh, okay, that's how you identified. No problemo.
This is my daughter's classroom. They have a map of the president.
Well, that's the mad thing, Plastic African. I mean, there's a statue of Nelson Mandela up in London. I mean, pull down all the other ones, but no, leave that Marxist terrorist up. I mean, Marxism and terrorism, they're, these are great Western, we love them. We leave that statue up. Fucking hell. I'll take it back a bit so you get this one.
Identified. No problemo.
This is my daughter's classroom. They have a map of the presidents. You go to Donald Trump. It says this page is not allowed. However, if we go to, let's say, Abraham Lincoln.
We just saw the high schooler who doesn't know history at all. This makes sense. Just cut out history about presidents because you don't like them. Because they say mean things. It hurts your little tiny feelings.
As someone who has coined my own xenogender, I find it really funny when transphobes use the argument of like, well, you're just making stuff up. Like, yes, I am.
I don't think anyone he's ever met that he calls a transphobe is having these discussions with him, hers, her. So if somebody's really a phobe, they're not talking to you. They're not having this discussion back and forth with this individual. There is a lot of make-believe here on TikTok.
And I'm having more fun than you are. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you, Chad. Gender is made up.
And Odin, Jameson's absolutely right there. None of this ever happens. No one has gone up to this bloke and gone, you're not a Zuni gender or whatever it was he made up. No one cares. No one cares. If anything, if you sat down next to him in your university canteen, because that's where the only seat was, you'll be like, hello, mate. How's it going? How's school going? Yeah? What are you studying? Oh, okay, that's interesting. I was going to do that, but I ended up changing to computer science. Yeah. No one's going to sit down and go, hello, mate. What's your gender? No, never, no. Has anyone ever sat down next to you and said, all right, what's your gender? It doesn't happen. No one cares. And if someone sat down next to me and said it, I'd say, what the fuck's it got to do with you? What? What's your cock size? Look, this is just compensating for a lack of charisma, a lack of personality. You know, they've got nothing to offer. Well, this is a tragedy. They feel like they think they've got nothing to offer, but they have, because they're people. But something's gone wrong somewhere along the line. Something's damaged them, or they've damaged themselves. And now they think, you know, this person actually uploaded this onto their TikTok account. And I guarantee, you can never be 100%, but 99.9999999999999 every single video on this thing's TikTok will be about this stuff. Nothing else to talk about. It has become an obsession. The next video will be, I was walking along the other day and some transphobes just suddenly came over and said, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "What's gay mean?" And no, they didn't. No, they didn't. No, that didn't happen. None of your videos happened. You just need a reason to start talking about the only thing you've got in your life. And that itself is a fabrication. You are living in a dream. And if you're going to live in a dream, why not make it a bit more exciting than your gender? Nice one, Fraser. She is Ezra Levantz of Rebel New Member. Hang on. She is Ezra Levantz of Rebel New Member of Parliament. You've lost me there, Fraser. I know who Ezra Levant is. I know what Rebel Media is. But I don't know. You're telling that woman who said about honk honk. Tell me again in another comment. Give me a little bit more, because I don't fully understand that. I don't fully understand that. So help us out. Nice one for the donation, but I want to know what you're talking about.
Words are made up. Pronouns are just words that we made up.
Bro, everything's made up. Taxes are made up. You don't have to pay them. Try that with the IRS.
Oh, sorry.
Laws are made up. Don't follow them. Do your thing. It's a construct, bro. Let's see how that works out for this fine individual.
Yeah.
Hello, Mike.
You might as well choose or make words that better suit your personal experience. So, like, yeah, symptogender is a made-up term. I would know. I made it up. As someone who has coined...
Hey, guys.
Right, hang on. So does that member of parliament work at Rebel Media? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying she's of a particular group? We got one of Rackpool's lieutenants on the firm. Nice to see you, mate. I think that's what... Is that what you're saying? Ezra Levant... I don't know what's happening. I don't get it. Help me out, Fraser.
So I think it's finally time for an update on my...
Now, this woman's utterly amazing. She is like Aristotle, Nostradamus, but utterly, not literally, the smart one.
gender series. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what part this is, but let's go. Okay, first off, I am now just going by Kay now. I no longer like to be called Kayla, unless it's...
Yeah, but Fraser, I don't understand it. She is Ezra Levantz of Rebel News. Right, I know who Ezra Levant is. I know what Rebel News is. But I don't understand Member of Parliament. What am I missing here? I don't get it. So what, Ezra Levant has made her a Member of Parliament? I haven't got a fucking Danny what you're talking about, Fraser. Anyone else? No? John Palmer says, I feel sad for these people. Me too, John. Really, I really do. They've been let down. They've been let down by people who are meant to be looking after them. Truly, they used to go to Dungeons and Dragons clubs, chess clubs, study clubs. Now they act out these disgusting, degenerate fantasies and destroy their own futures. It's worse than skag. Yeah, it's really, really sad. But I still don't know what my man Fraser's talking about, and I want to.
For work, just because it's kind of confusing with the paperwork and stuff. So yeah, I also am now using...
I don't even remember.
Okay, she's his MP. Okay, we got there. Nice one. I know that Ezra is the owner of Rebel News. I know that. So that woman is his MP. That's what Rags has told me. Okay, cool. We got there. Nice one. Let's have a look at some more of these pricks.
For the gender here, I'm getting lost. Whatever the gender is, the person's confused about it. They're confused. How do you think the people at work are? How are normal people supposed to keep up with this? Is it even possible? But the truth of the matter is, I don't think they want you really keeping up. I think they want you constantly making mistakes, so you ignore this.
All pronouns instead of none. I don't regret not going by any pronouns before, but I do feel that it just makes, I don't know, that's what's happening. Another thing though, I am still xenogender.
Xenogender.
I would look that up if I cared. However, like most people, I care for about 10 seconds, then I move on.
No, come on, let's actually have a look. Xenogender. Any guesses, people? Xenogenders are neither female or male. They are defined by other kind of identities that people don't think have a relationship with gender. Has that cleared that up for you?
So when individuals like this talk about how they're getting all this hate, I think, no, I only think about it for 10 seconds. Don't really care. Glad you don't live with me. Glad I don't work with you. We're good, buddy.
That is still my gender that I identify with, and I am still bisexual, so those things have not changed at all. So yeah, it's just a little quick update that I have for y'all.
Hey, yeah, a little quick update. I'm lonely. Please like my video. And also agree with whatever.
His videos go on like that for like about 10 minutes. Odin's Men, it's called. You can, but also check out his other channel, Jameson's People, is it? Jameson's Travels. It's all military stuff. That's incredible. I've been going for 2 hours and 12 minutes. I've really screwed my day up. Let's have a look. I went to bed at 7 this morning. Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'm going well. Life's good. It's going really well. Let's have a look at some memes. Got some class memes. Got some weird ones as well, though. But, you know, such is the way with the right to bear memes. Let's have a look at this. Did you help Ukraine? Not really. What did it cost? Higher gas prices for Americans. Look at his boat. That one, the reason I like that one so much is it's been used in so many memes. Look at it. It sums him up. It absolutely sums him up. Amazing. Amazing. Hello, Snoopy. Good to see you. Hello, Frenchie. Frenchie wants an update in 10 years to see how messed up you are. Yeah, that is going downhill. Absolutely rapidophile. You know, that person's having a breakdown, and it's only being, you know, the sort of the slight hint of normality is only being held up by this irreality. I've lost all my words. I've run out of words. Okay, I've run out of words. But I think you know what I'm saying. Yeah, look at this. There it is again. Same joke. Putin gets more land. America gets higher gas prices. That boat race is brilliant. Oh, Lord, save me. This is brilliant. I'm jealous of your heart. Ah, what? Why? Because it's pounding inside of you and I'm not. Hello, Shane. Because it's pounding inside of you and I'm not. There was a comedian years ago, I can't remember his name, and I always get the delivery of the joke wrong. But the way he said it was excellent because you didn't have to hear the woman's question. He just went in with the answer, and it was something like, I'm trying to spread my love. No, I'm trying to put my love on your heart, but your tits keep getting in the way. Yeah, maybe I failed in the delivery, but some of you might got it. Not a meme as such as quite a funny one. Saloon, liquor in the front, poker in the rear. Come on, people. Oh, okay, moving on. This is darkness. Hunter Biden's ex-girlfriend testifies to grand jury about how he lived in Chateau Marmont for a month, where he learned to cook crack and gave her thousands of dollars to spend. So apparently this has actually happened. Learn to cook crack. It takes about 2 minutes. I suppose the rest of the time his niece was wanking him off with her feet. It's hard to say with... isn't it amazing? Isn't it absolutely amazing that Trump only had to fart and the global media just said, how unpresidential. Hunter Biden is a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. And I don't actually mind what he gets up to. But I do think people should be judged along same lines. This whole laptop thing, no one talks about it. It's almost like it hasn't existed. And it certainly has existed. Thank you, Mick. Much appreciated, mate. Really appreciated. They really are. They really are. This whole thing, they, make as much money as they can for themselves and fuck America. And I mean it. I don't mean like fuck it as in forget about it. I mean destroy it. They're trying to destroy the USA. I think something really significant has got to happen because I think they've brought in 2 million illegals in the last year. I think they're the right numbers. If that carries on for the next 3 years, that's a fucking lot of illegals to bring in. And that's just the people they've counted. I mean, I'm serious here. I'm not sure Biden and the Biden administration will see out their term. I think there might be something in the Constitution where they can just say no. I'm kind of confident at the midterms that the Republicans are going to get the House and maybe even the Senate. And if that happens, it'll be brilliant. There'll be leaders in name only. It really is quite shocking. This one's a bit weird, but he is an arsehole these days. Schwarzenegger. So he went on some bike ride with fucking, how dare you, Greta Thunberg. And then about a month later, he crashed his absolutely massive gas-guzzling fucking beast machine. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. I used to really rate him as well. He'd done so well on so many across so many fields: film star, weightlifting, California what was it called? I can't remember what the name of the position was. But he's just woked out like an arsehole because he wants to stay in the public eye. That's why they do it. Governor, that was it. But look, I want to show you this. I want to show you a picture of this fucking motor he crashed. They are. Where's the best picture of it? Salty Cracker said it looked like it was eating the other car. Hang on, I've got it. Right, so bear in mind that a month or so before, he'd done a bike ride with Greta Thunberg. Look at his motor. Look, how dare you tell us to cut down on our carbon tax? Look at the size of it. It ain't a question of miles to the gallon. It's a question of gallons to the mile. Look at it. No, get out on your bike, proletariat, you lumpen proletariat. Ride your bikes. How dare you? Look at it. It looks like it's eating that other thing. You cheeky bastard. You cheeky bastard. Fuck it now. Look at the state of him, look. I'm sorry, I have 20 vodka breakfast. I will check, Mick, I will check out Frank Sinatra, but not on this channel for obvious reasons, but it's in my head, Mick. I'll have a look at it. In fairness, Sinatra done Sinatra songs like Hitler. Bastard. Ride your bikes. No, you. But, you know, this is it. This is where we are. If you're a celebrity, oh dear, it's awful, isn't it? Put your hand over the top half of it and then move your hand up. I've blatantly bedded women like that, and then in the morning they've looked like that. And there you go. Oh, hang on. I'll zoom in a bit just in case you can't see. So there's the top bit. Great work that. I love it. Aesthetically wonderful. Beautiful. And reminded me to watch Jaws later. If I've got any fucking time. And then finally it's brilliant. Dual Citizen just put the that's that Frank Sinatra geezer. Poor old Spider-Man, look at it. Oh, Lord. Right, people, you know what? Before I done this stream, I said to myself, look, you ain't got a lot of time. I'm also going to stream later. I thought, just do a cheeky little hour. No clips, no memes, just a hangout. Listen, just because while there's a lot of you here, in my stream title, from now on, if it says chill stream or hangout, there's not going to be clips. We'll do some say and shares, but I want to start doing about 50-50 because, you know, we done that stream yesterday when I was telling stories and things, and loads of you said that this has been the best stream ever, best stream in months and all that. And that was just a chatty stream. Now, I don't want to forget about what's going on in the world, but I want to, you know, balance it out a bit. So if it says chill stream or hangout, there won't be clips and memes. But I will do that as well. But sometimes I just want to talk with you and, you know, go where the conversation goes, because I think there's a lot of value to those streams as well. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but then nor's the other one. Hang on a minute. I'll get a little bit of music. Get that racked up. If you're not already subscribed to my Substack, I've got a Substack. I'm a writer. Link in the description is totally free. Most of them are true stories from my life. So if there's 15 in the archive. If you put your email in, any new ones, which is about one a month, will be emailed to you. I know there's a few new people in here, so maybe go and get on my Substack. It's a good way of supporting this channel. Link in the description. I will be streaming later. I'm going to try and do it earlier because I'm not getting any time to myself. You know, I've already worked today, then I've streamed. Now I'm going to work, then I'll stream. I want a few hours just to sit back, maybe watch Jaws, maybe listen to some music, maybe play some guitar. And the reason I'm saying that now more than I usually do is because obviously I'm going through a bit of an emotional time, and I'm finding that I'm just filling my time up. And that's not good for me. I need some time on my own, bit of meditation, bit of yoga, and actually process this stuff. Because if I don't, it will take me down, and I don't want to go down. Exactly that, Mr. African. I need to get some rest, but I've got a day's work to do. So there you go. All right, people, I'm going to play some music. Thank you to everyone who donated. There's still a couple of minutes to chuck a few quid at the stream. Thank you to Rags for the memes and the clips, almost all of them today, in fairness. Thank you to Steve Cray for helping out with the moderation. Dual citizen, also guest appearance moderator today. And of course, Mosaic Labrador, who's probably still shoveling snow. Look after yourselves, people. I'll probably see you later, probably about 3 or 4 o'clock UK time. And we're going to go out again with Alex Jones because it's amazing. Let me know we got audio. Ta-da, people.
The paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories, keeping babies alive. Selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we want to eat babies. I have them on video.
Matt, I'll send you the clip.
Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weirdo woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
I think I might, Ludwig. There's lovely birds around here. Sorry.
Hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
Bless you, Alex Jones. Bless you for staying online, more popular than ever. They tried to get rid of him. Nah, can't do it. Can't do it. It's a lie. Cancel culture's a lie. The only people who get cancelled are the celebrities because they want to be on the telly box. They want to be on CNN. They want to be on all the shit that no one cares about anymore. Alex Jones is doing great. No problem there. Is he mental? Yeah. Good. Brilliant. See you all later. Hoit. Ta.